Hello, everyone. My name is Antoine Powell, and you can reach me at Pokey_Twan. The name of this platform is Reach Out, the basic element for entrepreneurs. For everyone new, we really appreciate you joining our lab today. I have wonderful guests. My co-host is Mike, and I also have Keith Keller. You can find Mike at Full Blast Creation, and he is a wonderful person from Canada. As I continue to introduce you guys to this platform, today we'll focus on determining the right platform, and that's the right marketing platform, because there are so many platforms for us to market our products. We have to be sure that a specific platform is basically beneficial for our particular items or our particular field. For entrepreneurs, we can be very confused with so many options to choose from, whether it's learning how to build a website or understanding how to market, and also managing things as far as budget. So my experienced co-hosts here, they have wonderful experience. I am a learner, and I am willing to share this platform with you guys as long as you are willing to learn. That's the most important concept that we have to offer today. We're not selling, we're just sharing. So I will pass my torch to Mike, and I want Mike to do the honors of giving a brief introduction, how you can be reached, and what you offer today.
Thanks, Antoine. It's a pleasure to be here and be with you guys again, talking about this stuff. I love Blab, man. My name's Mike Wynn. I run Full Blast Creative here in Calgary, Canada, Alberta, and we specialize in digital online marketing as well as a bevy of other graphic design solutions. And I can be found at I think it's up here. Michael Wynn at Full Blast YYC, and fullblastcreative.ca is our main website. And pleasure to be here.
As I was mentioning, we are just being specific on how one can determine the right marketing platform. And today we'll touch on many different platforms, whether it's something that others specialize in Canada or something that people are specialized in Australia. And more importantly, what people are specialized here in the States, because that's generally the majority of our audience and majority of everybody feel. So I wanted to touch on some bases in which Keith, Mike, and we all touched on earlier about Google Analytics. And we understand with Google Analytics, it's a wonderful place where a lot of things can be stored and information can be gathered. And we were able to come up with some wonderful, interesting sites that Keith had mentioned, and it was primarily focused on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook. So if you guys can give me a little insight on the information or what you guys found out about those three sites. And
I was looking at analytics today. I mean, we were setting up some stuff for clients, and we were really making good use of it to figure out what we were going to do next on a couple strategies. Can you rephrase the question, I guess, Antoine? What's it?
Yeah, to be more specific, I was just mentioning that, you know how people can keep tracks of their analytics as far as when they're starting out with a business. You know, as I was mentioning in our past Blab, some business we don't keep track of our first week of sale or how we are tracking things. And I know Google Analytics help us with keeping tracks of things. And I was just giving a brief example, but I know, like in my particular field, Instagram would be helpful because I got jewelry, so I want to show particular images. So I'm just asking, like, if people want to keep track of what they are doing, and how could they also determine, like, which platform is best for them in a particular field? Like, how can you categorize which platform is best, and how can you also keep track of what actually tells you what's best, opposed to you just thinking since you're getting a lot of likes? Because I also found out that it's not so much about the likes, it's about the mentions, the analytics, and things like that.
The link facts.
Yeah,
no, I totally get where you're coming from. That's a good way to frame it all, especially with a little bit of how you're relating it to your business. And whether you're, starting from ground zero or you're a well-established business, to be tapping into analytics is such a key part of your business. I mean, it's really your roadmap to success for the best part, or at least your roadmap for, week-to-week, day-to-day decisions. And we always like to call it just benchmarking, right? So whether we're stepping in with a new client or we're helping set somebody up, it's to put, here's where you're at right now. We just launched a website. Traffic was 0 yesterday. What are we going to get today? Where did we get it from? were people using mobile or desktop? Where were they when they reached us? It tells you so much information that, that a lot of the guessing is taken out of it, and you can start to really drill down to what's working, how do I improve that, or here's some areas that I'm not doing so well in. How can I start to make that work for me? When we look at the social networks tab within our Google Analytics dashboard, and it says, okay, well, what do you want to look at? Specifically which networks, well, how much traffic you're getting and the mentions. You can start to see which are working and which are not. And if they're not, I think we all know there's a million different little tactics you can use to try to boost those, right? Look at your time of day, look at your content, look at your frequency. There's so many other things. So yeah, looking at that Google Analytics as your benchmark and guidepost is really important for a lot of that. As the, king of Twitter sort of thing, you obviously hope that your metrics or your analytics are showing you that sort of thing reflected. But then all those inbound links are really, really important. And we were talking about Bitly earlier this week for campaigns and, how to leverage those URL shorteners and everything to manage or better assess where your traffic's been coming from and which of your posts or shares, whatever, have been working for you better than others.
Yeah. So what people similar to myself who, watch the replay, because I have people that's like startups and people that come into my lab, they probably have the thought of like starting something. And when we are seeing these analytics and we're seeing these mentions, the numbers are not in a place where Keith and yours would be. And I know it's a work in progress. And I know also that we have to invest into these platforms. In some cases, we can find some that's cost ineffective, meaning we don't have to invest as much. But how do the startup deal with the discouragement? Because on majority of these platforms, everyone want to have all of the followers. Everyone want to instantly, have something that everyone like. And how can we at least be part of the conversation as we continue to learn about these different platforms? Like for people who are new to Google Analytics and people who have the products, but they don't have the experience as far as marketing, they want to see different results. Do you think it takes time, or like how are we supposed to keep focus at the same time deal with the thought of not being part of the conversation?
Yeah, it's tough. Especially for smaller operations when you're starting up, there's just so many things to factor in. So, as a good just approach, it's a matter of breaking those down into small manageable pieces. So if the one simple thing that you do is to get analytics set up on your site so that you can start to manage all this, and like Keith does, once a week have a report sent to you, even at a higher level, because you can customize those reports really, really detailed. But at least it gives you that overall, what worked for me this past week, of the time and effort that I spent, where did I get the most traction or where did I fall short? And then how can I adjust that going forward? And there's so many conversations going on in so many places. So, I know we've talked about before, it's really trying to assess, where's my tribe? Where's my people out there, and how do I reach them and get the message across? So at least, and Google Analytics is one tool, but there's a lot of other tools. Even if you're a Hootsuite fan or Sprout Social or whatever else, you're still getting some really good, just day-to-day, hour-to-hour sort of feedback on it. So for some people, that's probably just as important, because Google Analytics is such a big beast unto itself. And if you don't have a major site that you're really driving a lot of traffic to and spending just more of your time on social, you can use those tools as well. So
more information, but for the time being, we're just focusing on how to become better with choosing the right platform. And I want to thank Axel for the advice that he just offered me. And, I am definitely going to take into account the advice that you offer. And as we continue to help others, feel free to ask questions and join into the conversation if you would like. Once again, this is an open lab to entrepreneurs who want to continue to understand how they can expand, because I am the host, but I am willing to learn more so that I can share with people who are in my same shoes. A person like myself, I'm trying to do so much that I can become overwhelmed because I'm not becoming a specialist. I'm just putting a piece into every different area. Like, what would you say for a person who just doing blogs, who doing the website, who got the products, and it seemed like you're doing too much at one time. Do you think that's a good
I think there's that chance that you can get overwhelmed by which channel should I be on, and I've got on my phone, I've got an app for this. So which one should I be spending the time on? And of course, we know that there's tools that will allow you to get that information out to all of them at the same time. Sometimes it doesn't work super well because they all have their nuances that way. But, for something, I always like to talk about case studies, a real world example sort of stuff. So when we look at the sort of thing that you're doing, Antoine, where we're a startup business and we want to get our message out and product line in front of people, how do we do that, right? How can we get that? You've got a local market. You know that you work well when you're dealing with one-on-one personal sales in the relationship. You're not trying to sell online massive to 100,000 people right now because you couldn't even fill the order if you had it come in. So it's that baby step sort of process. So reaching out to your local community in a number of ways by joining those groups on Facebook or LinkedIn where you can get that message out, establishing your local Twitter account and using some of the local hashtags. So that people are at least aware of it and to create associations with other business people. And then Instagram to really highlight some of the products that you've got. And of course, we know that through Instagram, you could just quickly deploy it on Facebook and Twitter as well. So because this is a very visual thing. People want to see them wearing this item. What does it look like? You can't really sell it any other way than showing how glamorous it is and how awesome and rock stars people are going to look like in it. I don't think you need to get too overwhelmed. You need to just pick a couple tools that are working well for you and do a really good job with that. And just to back up to Axel's point, which was really good, people shouldn't become overly bogged down in all the data about it. It's good to keep your eye on, and I think you'd probably agree that at least from the get-go to have a couple things in place that, it allows you to track it through.
And that's wonderful information because it's not so much of discouragement for me because I love the drive of doing research.
Totally, yeah.
And just understanding how I know, like, at first I can honestly admit I thought Twitter just wasn't for me. And I'm saying, like, right now I'm creating the blab that focus on make sure you're choosing the right marketing platform because I never saw myself 3 months ago being dedicated more to Twitter than I am Facebook and Instagram, although those platforms just was interesting because on a personal level, now as far as on a business level, I'm learning how to categorize things as far as choose my audience, make sure that I am also including my audience into the conversation, not just thinking everything is about me. So as we become familiar with these platforms, we understand it's not just about personal, it's about sharing because what we're doing here in Black, we're just simply sharing information. And I think that's very important for us as entrepreneurs to understand the concept of just choosing a platform whereas we still being a part of the conversation, all while we are sharing information that people might be in a similar field. Do you think that's a good idea also?
Yeah, totally. I mean, they want to be able to identify with you, right? And put that sort of face to it. I think, and I know Crystal's got some good stats that she could maybe send me real quick, but when you're sending this stuff out, you can't just be like, sell, here's the next offer. You got to do this nice mix, right? Of I'm supposed to be an influencer or good expert in this area. So I want to share just some stuff I found out because it's all about this sharing and learning. Hey, here's something that happened to me that sort of relates because I'm a person and you need to know that as well when you're looking at my feed. And oh, by the way, here's this awesome product that we are dealing with right now. You guys should be excited about it. And because you like me, you probably like it. Hopefully I lend some value to that. And then you get that mix going through. I always like to think of it where if I'm doing research on somebody, if we're hiring a new guy for the shop, I'll look at his Twitter feed. right? And if he was a salesman and it was just like, this is all I'm about, I don't learn anything about him through his account. But if I go to that account and I see his passion for these topics, and he does some travel, and he loves his family life, and here's the products and brands that he really admires and follows, you get a much more well-rounded picture of who that is, who that person is, and you're a little bit more trustworthy. And all of that sales process is gaining trust with them to the point where they want to buy from you and want to do deals, right? So.
Exactly, and it goes back to building that personal relationship that we always mention, throughout our blasts and throughout our conversations, because similar to how you and I met, we met on a personal level opposed to just saying, let me direct message you, because like when people just come into my platform and they direct message me, I don't take it as a personal, because for one, I don't even really know you yet, and you're sending me a direct message that's offering me something that's free, and what comes with free. So we have to be sure as to how we are approaching certain platforms and making sure that everyone, like, we can't approach every individual the same, because it's not, it doesn't, would you agree? Like, we can't approach every situation the same, right?
Yeah, I mean, you've got, for any product or service, you've always got such a broad spectrum of opportunities there where, even when we were talking about this earlier here about our logo design work that we do for customers, right? We've got people that really don't care about the brand. They just need a logo to start their business so they can get on with life and aren't overly concerned about it.
Once again, guys, thank you all for tuning in to Reach Out, the basic elements for entrepreneur. Today, we just focus on making sure you determine the right marketing platform for your business, because this is focused strictly on new entrepreneurs who are trying to expand, or people just looking for better marketing strategy. With that being said, I want you guys to continue to follow us. My name is Antoine Powell. You can reach me at reach_out01 or Pokey_Twan. And once again, Mike, you can give yourself a brief closing.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Antoine. It was awesome to talk about this stuff again. It's Michael Wynn. I'm with Full Blast Creative here in Calgary, Alberta. You can get us at fullblastcreative.ca, or I think it's over here. Yeah. Full Blast YYC on Twitter and all the other good channels. So thanks, and check everybody later.